Look, I mean, obviously it's been a difficult time. There's anger and frustration within the company. We all feel it. I feel it too. It's at Google we set a very, very high bar, and we clearly didn't live up to our expectations, and which is why we felt it was important to express our support for the employees today. And the first step you take in these things is to acknowledge and apologize for past actions, the pain they caused. We sincerely did that to the company. Secondly, words alone aren't enough, and you have to follow up with actions. And to be very clear, these incidents are from a few years ago, and we've evolved as a company. As CEO, it's been very important to me, personally meaningful to me, that we draw a hard line on inappropriate behavior, and we have done so for the past few years. And the last couple of years, as you mentioned, we have taken hard action. 48 people terminated, 13 senior managers. None of them involved any pay package of any sort. But moments like this show that we didn't always get it right, and so we are committed to doing better. We are listening to employees. That's partly why today is important. And I think there are concrete steps coming out in terms of what we could do better. So for me, I want to acknowledge the women who step up and do this. I think it shows extraordinary courage, and we want to figure out how to support them better. And it's a process, and I'm committed to doing better, and I want to make sure Google sets the bar for something like this.
Do you think there's a legitimate systemic problem in terms of the culture inside Google?
Sexual harassment is a societal problem, and I think, Google is a large company. We have had our share of issues. But I think, I can say we are definitely doing our best, and I'm sure most people would tell you for the past couple of years, we have drawn a very, very hard line, and it is a different place.
But do you think there's something either about Google or even, let's broaden it out to Silicon Valley, where the rules perhaps were a little looser than they could and should have been?
Look, I think two things. There was definitely not enough representation. I think it's a common problem in tech, and I think that you can for sure. I think that is causal, right? Not having enough representation is part of the issue, and I would think there needs to be a deeper look at whether there were something else more systemic which led to things like this. But
so in the past couple of days since these headlines broke, and you're lying there at home at night, what are you thinking the mistake was that led to today? Was it something that could have been stopped earlier?
I think as a company internally, we've understood it and we've evolved, and but this is a look back at what happened, and so that But
so how much do you need to tell the public then about these 48 situations, for example, and how much can you tell the public about them?
Look, these are all cases where we have taken strong actions. We have terminated, and I think so. We have done that. There's privacy of people involved, and I think we have to be thoughtful about it. But internally, we do provide transparency. One of the feedback is, I think more than any other company on many areas, we do things differently. We publish to the company the number of investigations we have taken, what the outcomes are internally to the company. And one of the good feedback we have gotten over the past couple of days is, can you break it out better? Can you, delineate sexual harassment from other investigations? And some of it we are going to follow up and give more transparency. Google has a very transparent culture compared to most other companies, and so we're committed to doing so.
Okay, so here's the complicated part, and we were talking about this with Lisa Borders and Padma earlier. What do you think the policy of a company like Google should be when there is somebody who is being terminated for sexual harassment or something of the like, in terms of whether when they leave there should be confidentiality agreements or payment, and whether there should be a policy that says we don't do that, because the issue is that these people leave without people knowing what really happened, and then end up in other companies where perhaps some of these things could happen again.
We don't. We already don't pay people, and that's what our record for the past couple of years shows. And and beyond that, what you do, I think it's a good question. I think it's a complicated question, and I think some of it needs to be. There needs to be due process and things which society needs to deal with, and we are grappling with it as are many places, and I think it's something which will evolve over time.